So, again, I'll try to juggle them as we go. But yeah. So, when we last left off... Dumb jerk McColonizer, we'd sent him to go fight in Ireland in hopes that he would get himself killed, but he didn't, and he's back and trying to regain the Queen's favor. So do we want to tell him he should try to seduce the Queen? Had the Queen look upon him as a son she never had. Yeah, that seems more likely.
The stars foretell of violence enacted by officers of the law.
Ah, verily. 'Tis doubtless a beheading. Forsooth, I do enjoy a good beheading.
Well, 'tis likely to be a trifle more elaborate than that. If the Queen is particularly vexed, it will start with a quick hanging until just before the point of death, followed by a disemboweling and emasculation.
Ah, yes, of course.
Whereafter the gentleman is invited to watch his own entrails and privy parts being lightly grilled upon an open fire, before he is chopped into 4 separate pieces.
A quartering, I think you mean?
Which, as etiquette dictates, are then to be parcelled up and sent as gifts to any friends and family members unable to attend the ceremony.
Ah, yes, splendid. An execution with all the trimmings. Verily, whilst a simple beheading can be a most elegant entertainment, 'tis a trifle too, well, continental for my taste. Why, 'tis oft over in mere moments, whereas a full English execution keeps one entertained throughout the whole morning. Though I fail to see what this has to do with... God's breakfast!
You're very
you mean
thick.
I am the one to be hung, drawn, and quartered?
Well, yes, very possibly. I am afeard the only course left to you now is to humble yourself before the Queen. The stars suggest you might be able to convince her to look upon you as the son she never had. A naughty, wayward child who has rebelled against his parent. With time and patience, she may forgive you.
In truth, 'tis not the worst of ideas, and it might even clear the path for the possibility of... Yes, methinks this plan may serve me very well.
There's time. He could still get beheaded. And it's only been like a day, but I forgot just how good the songs are in this game.
Good day, Your Grace, and well met. Might I inquire whether Your Grace has made a decision regarding whether to give Thomas Blagg the bishopric of Salisbury?
Ah, yes, Dean Blagg. I had my chaplain look into what you told me regarding irregularities in Dean Blagg's stewardship of Rochester Cathedral. Methinks you said he was embezzling coin and pawning cathedral furnishings, did you not? Well, it seems you did speak true.
Oh, indeed?
Of course, I will make nothing of it, as I wish to avoid the scandal. I merely told Dean Blagg that I could not offer him the bishopric due to various episcopal and doctrinal constraints.
Of course. And what problem would Your Grace wish me to address this day?
Oh, 'tis a problem with my other deans. With each passing day there seems to be a new dean at the palace gates, come to petition me for this wretched bishopric of Salisbury. Presently, 'tis Owen Wood, the Dean of Armagh. Since he returned from Ireland, he talks of nothing else.
How tiresome for Your Grace.
Indeed. I have told Owen that I am giving his request careful consideration, but in my experience, this only delays a dean for so long. I do have to grant the occasional bishopric. or else my deans become restless.
Doubtless, Your Grace.
But after what I learned about Dean Blagg, I must take care to exercise caution. Hence, I would have you tell me anything you know, that is, anything the stars reveal, about Owen Wood, that would render him unsuitable to perform the role of bishop.
Then let us ask the stars. Is there any reason why the Most Reverend John Whitgift, the Archbishop of Canterbury, should not grant Owen Wood the bishopric of Salisbury?
Hydrate. I like the, you should ask the stars, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Okay, so Dean Wood was the one that, not Emma, Mistress Blagg was going after. Possible to please, vain but patient, has God on the side. What's the other one? I mean, this is all true. I mean, he does need to make a decision at some point. Yeah.
Your Grace, the stars advise you to grant Owen Wood the bishopric, for Dean Wood is a patient, self-regarding man who is not likely to give up his hopes for advancement.
He will not let the matter rest, will he? Then I suppose I must grant him the bishopric, or I shall never hear the end of it.
Very wise, Your Grace. And one more matter, if I may. Has Your Grace yet had the opportunity to consider the granting of my medical license?
Ah, yes, that. Once my chaplain has finished looking into the matter, I shall be giving it careful consideration. Good day.
I said good day, sir.
Here comes Emma, say that she's a witch. How did she gain position? How did she become so rich? For her eyes she has to thank frail old men with serious pangs. Here comes Emma, I verily she is rich.
She's about to have another...
Good day, Lady Dyer.
Good day,
Poor
Dr.
husband.
Foreman. But I can no longer claim the title of Lady Dyer, for Lord Dyer passed away last year. You must call me Mistress Moore now, for I am lately remarried.
Indeed? I am full sorry to hear of Lord Dyer's death, Mistress Moore. Pray tell, what did your late husband die of?
Cake.
'Twas the diabetes, the disease you judged him as having. He died from wounds that never healed.
You mean the cut on his lordship's hand? But I recall you saying the wound was trifling small.
Oh, yes, that wound was. But through misfortune he acquired many more. One evening, while we were summering at our country estate, he was leaning out upon the balcony when the stone railing gave way and he fell into our rose garden. The thorns cut him near to pieces. Poor dear Henry. He did so love his roses.
There, dear lady.
I'm
My
shocked.
wish is to leave such sorrows behind and think only of my new husband, Lancelot Moore. My Lancelot is a fine man, a man of great talent. Indeed, he has so much potential that I am loath to see it go to waste. And, as you doubtless know, Lord Devereux, Earl of Essex, is presently leading a military campaign to put down the Catholic rebels in Ireland.
Forsooth I do know, madam. Indeed, I myself was at the parade to send Lord Devereux off on his travels. Have you a notion that your husband should enlist as a soldier in his lordship's campaign?
Indeed I do, Dr. Foreman. For you see, my husband Lancelot is full brave.
Yes, I am told that Lancelot has distinguished himself in many fierce battles against fathers and the like.
But I seek your reassurance that if I were to send Lancelot to Ireland, he would return unharmed. No doubt the Earl is leading his men very well, but I hear tell those Irish tribesmen are most savage in battle. Dare I let my husband face such fearsome beasts?
Let us see what the stars advise. Should Lancelot More join Lord Devereux's campaign in Ireland, would he find glory in battle or death?
Well, let's see what our options are. So they're intelligent and cruel. I mean, yes, that's all very true. Where am I at with Emma? I'm very close to having her letter. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. I don't think I can call her out yet. Maybe I can save the idiot. Do we send him off or not? I don't think we call her out yet. I think we wait until, after we've gotten her letter. And honestly, I don't really care either way whether he survives. I'd just prefer to get the letter. Let's tell her it's dangerous and see what happens.
Madam, I urge you not to send your husband to Ireland. There is a goodly chance he would die in battle.
Oh, verily?
Aye. According to the stars, England's campaign against the Catholic rebels fares very ill. Whilst Robert Devereux may be a skilled military commander, the Catholic rebels are clever strategists. They have the upper hand.
By the saints, how frightful! I will at once to my husband go and entreat him not to venture to Ireland.
That's okay. She'll probably send him off to Ireland anyway. Yeah, we got the letter. Next time we're calling her out.
Hear ye, hear ye! Lancelot More drowns in Irish bog. Grieving Moore family demands answers. Hear ye!
Lancelot More, second son of Sir Alfred More, was reported drowned in action Tuesday last near the town of Boyle in Ireland. Mr. More numbers again among the many casualties of Robert Devereux's troubled military campaign to quell the Irish Catholic rebellion. Moore's family is reported to be distressed and seeking answers from authorities over his death. Most notably, this includes royal favorite Lady Barbara Talbot, who is said to be profoundly upset at having been denied the opportunity to be by her cousin's side in his vital moments. Welp. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can still get there. It's just gonna be tough. We tried.
Good day, mistress. What brings you?
I am come about my lover who is lately returned from Ireland.
Ah, yea, and your current lover is, as I recall... Ah, yes, your lover at present is Owen Wood, the Reverend Dean of Armagh, is it not?
Aye.
And according to my notes, you were afeard he might die in battle. And yet you do not appear to be much pleased he's returned alive. Whatever is the matter, madam?
Know you why Dean Wood is returned to England? 'Tis because Archbishop Whitgift, who did deny my husband the bishopric of Salisbury, has gone and given it to him instead.
Oh, I am heartily sorry, madam. 'Tis cruel indeed.
Aye, but that is not the end of Owen's treachery. It is being said around the diocese that my lover, Owen Wood, is romantically entangled with 2 other women.
And who might these 2 other women be? Might one of them be his wife, or...
Of course not. Do not jape with me, Foreman. I did hear that one of the ladies Owen is seeing is Mistress Ways, while the other is a certain Anne Hayborn, with whom I am not yet acquainted. I do hear she is a very young and comely maiden, though mayhap a maiden no longer. I prithee, scribble one of those doodles of yours and tell me if this be true.
Madam, if you will but afford me some silence and calm, I will compose one of my doodles, as you so call my mathematically precise astronomical charts, and endeavour to answer your question. To wit, is Owen Wood, the Dean of Armagh, wooing other women?
Oh, no question. I assume so. Have I already gotten her? No, I'm nowhere near. Okay. Let's go with this one and hope for the best.
I have good tidings for you, mistress. Your relationship with Owen Wood is secure. 'Tis true he has indeed been conducting intimate liaisons with some of the wives and daughters of various deans and bishops, but...
So then 'tis true! What a maid-fiddling maggot of a man is he!
Aye, but prithee, madam, I had not finished. The stars suggest that Dean Wood's affairs with these women will shortly end, for it seems he is in dispute with them.
What, with all of them? At the same time?
It would seem so. Mayhap they all have been apprised of the same rumour that brings you this day.
Well, I am glad to hear these affairs are soon to be ended. But I will not lie, I am no less vexed with him. And indeed, if Owen has been larking about, 'tis only fair I do the same, to even things out between us.
No.
I think what you may be referring to is lex talionis. 'Tis the law of retaliation, as practised by the ancient Babylonians. Well, madam, indeed, if it would help square matters betwixt you and Dean Wood, you may consider me wholly at your service.
Subtle. Yep. Very subtle.
God give you good even, your grace.
You would do well not to look so pleased with yourself, sirrah, for your counsel has occasioned me a great deal of trouble.
Trouble, your grace? Would this have anything to do with the stars advising you to grant Owen Wood the bishopric of Salisbury?
Indeed it would, for your counsel very near endangered the reputation of the church. After having promised Owen the bishopric, as you advised, I was obliged to withdraw the appointment on the morning of his ordination, for Dean Wood is now cods deep in scandal. The parish council has received numerous paternity suits, and 'tis said that scores of defiled wenches bethrong the gates of his deanery each morning, clutching suckling babes and demanding recourse. As for young Anne Hayborn, she has had her reputation ruined, and Dean Ways is barely speaking to his wife anymore.
On my word, how disgraceful.
Aye, indeed. If only Owen had the sense to exercise more discretion.
Yes, indeed, your grace.
The Bishop of London, for instance, manages his affairs very quietly. I might have been able to look the other way, but in this instance I could not let Owen's indiscretions pass. For a wretched local woman by the name of Mary Payne got wind of the scandal and stirred up a public fuss about it.
I'll do it.
Oh, the devil take the woman and her bacon-faced husband.
If I might venture an opinion, Your Grace, mayhap if we were to pay no heed to Mary Payne and her ilk, they would eventually tire of their animus and leave us all be. But is it upon such problems you come this day, or upon some other matter?
I am come about my health. I believe I do ail of something.
Then pray, describe your complaints to me, Your Grace.
Well, I am afflicted with pain in my back, and at times I find myself hard of breathing. Indeed, I feel I may have phlegm in my chest.
Pneumonia?
And I do bear these odd-looking spots upon my body that will not mend.
If you will permit me to loosen your robes to examine you. Oh, I see. Methinks I have a notion of what ails you. Let me confirm it with a reading of the stars. What troubles Archbishop Whitgift?
Let me see the options. Nattering at the breast. Knobs on the yard. No. French pox. He's not gonna like this one. But I'm gonna pick it because it's probably true.
Your Grace, I know not how to put this delicately. You have the French pox. I am not sure how this is possible, as you're a man of the cloth. Indeed, mayhap I check the stars again.
No need. I did suspect as much.
Verily? How astute of you. The French pox can oft be difficult to cure, but in your case, it is not far advanced. This ointment of boar grease and mercury is to be applied to your entire body.
Ooh.
It must be rubbed in vigorously to ensure the mercury is well absorbed into the skin.
Don't do that at
You
home.
may then expect to see the sores on your body start to heal within a matter of days.
I see. And, I imagine your manservant William will be giving me this treatment?
No, Your Grace. The grease is to be taken home with you and applied each night before bed for 9 days. Mayhap your chaplain could apply it to Your Grace's body.
Ah, yes, a fine idea. I thank you for this treatment, sir. Fare you well, Dr. Foreman.
Before you leave, Your Grace, might I inquire again as to the possibility of you granting me a medical license? Your Grace did mention you would give it careful consideration.
Ah, yes, indeed I did I not? Have no fear, Dr. Foreman. My chaplain is looking into it. Good day.
Check your manservant. Apparently my manservant is very handsome. Everyone keeps having the hots for him. Yeah! Woohoo!
Here comes Lord Devereux, ready to fight. Wild-eyed and restless, he's been up all night. He may not know much, but he knows that he's right. Never
That's good. Alright, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need to get 3. I thought Lancelot died, so I don't think we can get his. We can maybe get his. And Humphrey Bell we've barely
Give
seen
ye
yet.
good morrow, my lord. I trust your lordship is well this day.
Well? God's body! Am I likely to be well? I have been languishing under lock and key while all England goes to ruin.
Yes. I did hear something of your arrest. I take it your encounter with the Queen did not go as well as planned.
Nay, 'twas a disaster. I took the precaution of seeking an audience with Her Majesty just after dawn, to be sure I would find her alone. But when I entered her bedchamber, she let out such a blood-curdling scream it alerted the palace guards, who ran into the room and arrested me.
But you were imprisoned in your York House residence, were you not? The fact that you were placed under house arrest and not imprisoned in the Tower surely speaks to the Queen's fondness for you. I trust your time in confinement was not uncomfortable, at least.
Well, yes, my time away from the world and its trifling concerns did, in truth, prove useful. It afforded me time to reflect on larger questions, to take stock of my life and put recent events in perspective.
Ah, I see. And what resolution did this quiet period of sober reflection bring you? A closer relationship with God? Or perchance you are resolved to spend more time with your family?
What? Nay, I said my mind was turned to larger questions. To wit, am I destined for greater things? Am I chosen by God to rule a kingdom? For I must needs act. The realm is under threat from within. For why was I verily imprisoned? Was it merely to punish me for some trifling mistakes I made in Ireland? Nay, 'twas to separate me from the Queen.
Well, I imagine after discovering you in Her Majesty's bedchamber...
Do you not yet see? The Privy Council means to keep me away from Whitehall, lest I see how they have contrived to control and manipulate the Queen since I left for Ireland.
My lord! Are you saying the Queen is weak and no longer in control of her reign?
Aye, indeed. Something must be done about it. Well, man, do not just stand there.
Yes, of course, my lord. Let us see whether the stars may give you your answer. Is Robert Lord Devereux, Earl of Essex, destined to, rule England?
No. Just a little heresy. Strong authority figure. Ah! This seems little as a treat. I do want my letter. I don't think this is a good idea. This he won't like. This one might be okay, and he might like it. Let's do this. Hope for the best.
My lord, the stars give you warning against paying heed to the counsel of friends. Was it, perchance, a friend who planted the seeds of these suspicions? To wit, your lordship's concerns regarding the Privy Council?
Indeed, it was my friends who apprised me of the threat, but I see no reason to doubt them.
My lord, for the sake of your safety, I must ask you honestly, is it verily plausible, this notion that you were imprisoned on the Privy Council's orders to hide some manner of grand conspiracy? Or might the truth be far simpler, though harder to bear, that the Queen had good reason to punish you, and you are now vexed that you are no longer her favourite? Now, of course, I say this with the greatest respect and the greatest of...
What? God's teeth, man! What is in you this day? Indeed, I will not suffer to be lectured in such a manner. 'Tis apparent such complex affairs of state are far beyond the understanding of a commoner. Forsooth, a mere astrologaster. I bid you a final adieu, for methinks I will have no need of you henceforth.
But my lord,
My duty is clear. For the sake of the realm and the safety of its people, I must act without delay.
Astrologaster.
I tried. Oh, that was the last one. Oop.
Good day, Dean Blagg. How now, good sir? I see you do ail of something.
I do ail of something, foreman. Forsooth, I fear I am very ill indeed. For I tremble day and night with fever, and my face does itch and prick with pain.
Verily. You do exhibit upon your nose and cheeks a rash of a most remarkable hue.
Before you do this reading for me, foreman, I must have your word that you will not speak of this to my wife, Alice. In truth, I have had her believe that I was set upon by an angry swarm of wasps that have lately been nesting in the north transept of the cathedral.
I do understand. A kind husband would naturally wish to shield his wife from any undue distress.
Ah, yea, that of course.
Uh-huh.
And there be also the small matter of the promise I did make to restore the Blag family fortune before I died, and thus not leave my wife and children to live in penury when I am gone. If Mistress Blag were to think that I am gravely ill, it would provoke some awkwardness between us that I would rather wish to avoid.
Ah, I take it then that your finances are also in poor health.
Alas, they are. For as you accurately predicted, the Archbishop never did grant me the bishopric of Salisbury. It would seem his grace is content for me to remain in my current state of penury.
I see. Well, as to your wife, Alice, be not afeard, sir. We doctors take querent confidentiality most seriously.
No, we don't.
As Hippocrates did say, testa Apollinum medicum secreta. Among other things. Now, mayhap we proceed to consult the stars on the matter of your condition. With what disease is my querent Thomas Blag troubled, and how may he be cured?
We're terrible at keeping secrets. I've already gotten his letter. Nope. Sorry, buddy.
It would seem you are troubled with a severe disease of the skin known as erysipelas. It is quite serious. Though you may find some temporary relief from the pain and fever by vigorously purging from your fundament. To induce such a thing, I do advise the consumption of a considerable quantity of prunes, or mayhap rhubarb. Of course, it does depend on the season.
Erysipelas? Prunes? Oh, merciful Lord, if it be thy will that I should die, and if thou hast writ these mortal signs upon the stars, I beseech thee, have thy servant Simon Foreman speak the truth.
Prithee, sir, I had not finished. Oh, my dear friend, I will not lie to you. Your condition is quite advanced. In truth, I fear you must prepare for the worst. If you will not share this grave news with Mistress Blag, perchance you might speak to her from the safety of, from beyond the grave? That is to say, write her a letter that may be read to her after you're gone.
Or haunt her,
Your loving words, though thus delayed, may provide her comfort in her time of grief and destitution.
God bless you for your candour, sir, as well your wisdom and friendship these last years. I will now go and pray upon what you have told me.
Haunting is good. Yeah? Oh boy, what has she done now? Nice. And accurate. Okay, so we have hers.
Good day, Mistress Fortescue. How may I help you this day? You seem a little out of breath.
Aye, 'tis but my bodice. My maidservant did lace it far too tightly. Methinks she is a trifle vexed with me. Indeed, the atmosphere in the Fortescue household is exceeding ill at present.
Verily? And why is that?
Someone has been stealing food from the larder in the night.
Is it the monkey?
This morning, 3 whole swan pies were missing. Each member of the Fortescue household suspects another.
And whom do you think is the author of these thefts, madam?
Well, I suspect my son Harold, as his fondness for pie is well known. But Harry denies it and has accused our maidservant Gladys. And 'tis true that Gladys has become suspiciously wide about the girth of late. And as for Gladys, well, she is convinced the culprit is our African parrot, Sir Muncelot Grey. But
That's
Sir
a
Muncelot has
great-
denied the accusation and blames my monkey.
Ah, and who does your monkey blame?
How now, Dr. Foreman? Be not absurd. Monkeys cannot speak.
Ah, yes. Then 'tis fortunate that God can. Speak to us, that is, by way of the stars. Who in the Fortescue household has been sneaking into the larder at night to steal pies?
That parrot name is amazing. I'm gonna go with this one.
Madam, you may eliminate your son from your inquiries, for according to the stars, you have educated him well, and he knows not to steal pies.
Harry is innocent, is he? Then who has been eating our pies?
I am afeard it is the very last individual you would suspect. An individual who is in this very room with us now.
How now, Dr. Foreman? Surely you would not accuse me?
Oh, nay, not you, madam. 'Tis your monkey. What was his name again?
You mean to say Sir Nanahad has been stealing our pies? Oh, my days! What a naughty monkey!
Quite. He is most naughty indeed, 'twould seem.
I must at once to home go and apologise to Sir Muncelot. I never should have doubted him. God give you good even, Dr. Foreman. You have been a bad boy, have you not, Sir Nanahad? Who's a naughty monkey? Yes, you're the naughty monkey. Yes, you're the naughty monkey.
Good even, Mistress Fortescue.
Wow. Amazing.
Humphrey Bell, to play our leading Jane. You must pay the price of looking thin and nice. Drink over your fears, cease all your guilt, and shame you lest you be judged, and we accord you blame.
Rude. Girls are so judgy.
Good even, Mr. Bell. What brings you so late this evening, young sir? Have you come from the playhouse?
Yea, I'm come from playing a Duchess in a special performance of Richard II. You know, that play that makes the Queen look bad.
So, Mr. Shakespeare decided to revive his play, did he? I see.
I need you to tell me what to do about my pay. Our seamstress told me she heard Mistress Burbage discoursing how John Crisp is getting paid a full shilling for each performance.
And you feel this is unfair, I take it? I gather Mr. Crisp's pay is greater than yours.
Aye, sir. 'Tis full twice as much coin as they pay me. What I get is barely enough to cover my rent. And my parts are well bigger than his, innit?
And you can fathom no reason for this disparity in pay? He is more experienced, perchance.
What? I've been on the stage since I was a boy, and John's been playing for less than a year. Nay, sir. Mr. Burbage and them other company sharers are paying me less on account of how I'm doing the lady parts.
You mean to say you are being paid less simply because you perform lady roles?
Indeed. John only gets them main parts because he's big and tall, but I'm well better than he is. Critics call my Ophelia the most tantalisingly nubile and tragical performance since Henry Condell's Juliet.
Ah, yes. Having seen Hamlet, I would have to agree with them there. I must own that I, too, found your Ophelia most comely and alluring. Now, let's see what the stars advise. What can be done about you being paid less than players of masculine roles?
All right, let's see what we got here. No. Maybe. Maybe. Probably. Nah, this one.
According to the stars, your employers, the Lord Chamberlain's men, are very wise businessmen.
How do you reckon that? On account of them contriving to pay me less than I deserve?
Precisely so, Mr. Bell. And being so wise, they doubtless deter their hired men from discoursing upon the coin they receive for their labour, perchance to the extent where the men harbour such feelings of shame and suspicion about it, they would more readily show each other their privy parts before they would show their pay.
Aye, 'tis true enough. We oft pull our yardles out when we're jesting about and that. But as for a man's pay, forsooth, 'tis considered most private.
Well, such prudery must end if you and your fellow players are to advance your interests, Mr. Bell. Indeed, methinks that if you were all to begin freely discoursing upon these matters, you will find you are not the only player being paid unjustly. If you do decide to demand more coin from your employers, I advise you to unify with the other hired men and speak as one voice.
Zah! We shall unify and demand them company sharers pay us equal coin for equal playing.
Yep, we started a union. That won't backfire on them.
Hear ye! Earl of Essex, foiled in Queen, kidnap, attempt, shocker! Biggest treason fail since Babington plot! Hear ye!
Robert Devereux, Earl of Essex, has been arrested for plotting to kidnap the Queen and install himself as protector of the realm. Devereux is reported to have bribed a company of players to stage a revival of William Shakespeare's King Richard II. As this play invites treasonous comparison between the weak and incompetent King Richard and our present sovereign Queen Elizabeth, it was Devereux's intention to use it to rouse an angry mob and lead them to the gates of Kensington Palace. Failing to muster sufficient support from the London populace, however, Devereux was compelled to return home to Essex House, where he was arrested. What an idiot.
Miss Black, she is a wife. 'Tis one way to live a life, oft with misfortune and with strife, especially if you be Black's wife.
Good day, Mistress Blagg. Pray tell, how did things fare with your gentleman friend, Owen Wood, the Dean of Armagh?
Alas, 'tis all over betwixt me and Dean Wood. I did ask him for a small loan, and he was most insulting about it. We have not spoken since. And I think I know why his ardour for me has cooled, for I did lately learn that he has been bedding half the women in the diocese.
Ah, yes. I too did lately hear of this.
So it seems your stars were right. There verily were other women vying for Dean Wood's affections. But this day I am come about my husband. Methinks he is ill, yet he pretends he is not.
Ah, pray describe his symptoms to me.
Well, yesterday I did remark that something was amiss when Molly McDoon and I returned from the playhouse. Well, there was a special performance of Richard II at the Globe. Know you of it? Oh, 'tis the play that makes the Queen look bad.
Aye, I know of it.
When I came in the door, there was an awful racket coming from our upstairs rooms. I went to see what the matter was and found my husband tucked up abed, moaning and wailing, and with a monstrous rash all over his face. He told me some nonsense about having been stung by wasps, and that he is merely tired. But I do not believe him.
I see.
I bid you, foreman, tell me true, for I grow ill with worry. Is it grave? Blagg had better not think of dying on me afore he has paid his debts.
Ah, for as his widow, by law, you would inherit them, would you not? But mayhap there is little to worry about. Let us consult the stars and see. What ails Thomas Blagg, the Dean of Rochester?
Well, no. I'm gonna tell her the truth.
Alas, I am afeard your husband is ill with a disease known as erysipelas. He is in grave danger. Indeed, his case is advanced and beyond treatment. There is nothing to be done now, but prepare yourself for his death, Mistress Blagg. Madam? Alice? Come, Alice, I will find you a chair.
Nay, I must not tarry. I am meeting Mistress McDoon at the Bear for a quiet one. Good day, foreman.
But Alice...
Hear ye, hear ye! Traitor loses head after losing mind. Earl of Essex gets the chop for treason. Hear ye!
On this day, the 25th day of February in the year of our Lord 1601, Robert Devereux, the Earl of Essex, was executed for treason. The execution follows yesterday's trial, in which he was found guilty of leading a failed plot against the realm. Formerly a favorite of both Her Majesty and the London public, the Earl's surprising betrayal of both Queen and country has shocked the nation. I did try to tell him, so that I could try to get his letter of recommendation, but nope. Not my fault he wouldn't listen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's still a chance I think he's dead.
If you try to argue with her, you will have no luck. She'll twist and turn your logic till your reason comes unstuck. Chastise Mary who you like, she will not give up. Will not give up.
Well met, Mistress Payne. How fare you this day?
Most well indeed, sir, for I am just come from taking my niece on an outing to Tower Hill. 'Twas to see the execution of the traitor Robert Devereux.
Ah, yes, Lord Devereux. What a tragic end to a promising career.
And such a lovely beheading they gave us. My niece and I very much enjoy the hangings at Tyburn, but a beheading is so much more elegant, is it not? Verily, 'tis a better class of execution, I find, and the royal executioner did go down on Devereux with such skill.
Phrasing.
A single stroke was all it took to give us the traitor's head.
Aye, 'tis true the royal executioner gives excellent...
But I have no time to tarry here and gossip with you, Dr. Foreman. I am come on a matter of great concern, and I bid you do my reading with greater care this time, for last time you did alarm me quite unnecessarily with your tale of war in Texas. And whilst the Queen does have the appearance of being naught but a painted corpse, propped up on a throne using artfully placed cushions, she is, in lore at least, still alive. Praised be.
Ah, indeed, praised be. And what is this new matter that concerns you?
'Tis that England is filling up with foreigners. Indeed, 'tis been going on for so many years now that in London 'tis rare to hear anyone discoursing in the English tongue any more. The city is crawling with continentals.
Ah, then I take it you do not enjoy your visits to the city of London.
Oh, nay, I have never been to London. For as I did just say, 'tis crawling with continentals, and Lambeth will soon suffer the same fate if we do not act. Why, only the other day, I spied a continental on the high street. A monstrous ogre of a man he was. And as for his face, his eyelashes were so fair, he had the appearance of having none at all.
Ah, yes, the Netherlanders. 'Tis true the people of the Netherlands can be fair of hair and tall of stature.
And 'tis surely no coincidence that Lambeth has suffered an increase in crime of late. We do not feel safe, Dr. Foreman. Every night we ladies of Fore Street do shiver in our beds at the thought of these frighteningly large men.
I do not doubt it, madam. Now, let us see whether the stars might allay or confirm your fears. Should the residents of Lambeth be concerned about an influx of continentals?
I mean, I'm not getting her letter of recommendation no matter what I do. So, let's see what we got. I mean, she'd like that, but no. I like that one. I like this one.
Madam, know you that many of these continentals are Protestant refugees who are come to our shores fleeing Catholic violence?
Aye, they say the Spanish inquisitors did torture the Netherlanders most cruelly in the name of their barbarous backward religion. But though 'tis most lamentable, 'tis hardly our affair.
Is it not England's affair, though, madam? For 'tis England's numerous military adventures in that part of the continent that have helped make of it a constant cluster shambles. And until all warring ends and peace is restored, Continentals will evermore come hither seeking refuge. By not offering shelter to these innocent victims of war, are we not being a trifle, well, hypocritical?
Oh, this won't end
Gosh,
well.
Dr. Foreman, do we not see? The only way to win peace for the Continentals is to defeat the Catholic armies who invade their lands. Indeed, has England not already spent enough of our own coin trying to save these Continentals? Are we now to offer them our land and houses as well? Why, we would have naught left for our own poor and indigent.
But, madam...
Verily, 'tis not right to expect the residents of Lambeth to bear such burdens. 'Tis neither fit nor proper. I will have my husband write to Lambeth Palace at once and demand the Archbishop act to ensure the needs of Englanders come first. Blessed day, Dr. Foreman.
I tried. I really did. Womp womp.
Hear ye, hear ye! Dean of Rochester Cathedral dies. New Dean pledges to refurnish empty cathedral. Hear ye!
Local residents were saddened this day by the tidings of the death of Thomas Blagg, Dean of Rochester Cathedral. He leaves behind a wife, Alice Blagg, and their children, John, Thomas, Cornwallis, Edmund, Nicholas, and Francis.
Humphrey man, what is his reward? For it is not enough to be my fans adored. For you, we sigh, we true, and swoon, when we see you entering the room.
Good day, Mr. Bell, and well met. I recall you were hoping for a pay rise. How did that go?
Well, I got a pay rise, innit? I took your advice about banding together with the other hired men and gabbing about how much coin we was getting. Turns out, another one of the lads weren't getting paid enough for his lady parts neither. So, we all refused to do our rehearsals until the boss man fixed it.
Well done, Mr. Bell. I must say I am most proud of you.
But this day, I am come about my skin. She's so clapped, I need twice as much ceruse as normal.
Ah, yes, Venetian ceruse, the white lead and vinegar paste ladies and players use to whiten their faces.
You have to fix it for me, Doctor, for my role in Mr. Shakespeare's new play. I'm to play a lady who disguises herself as a lawyer.
A lady cunningly disguised as a lawyer? Forsooth, how original. But I see not why you need worry over your complexion. Having a sound grasp of Latin and a talent for eloquence are the usual qualifications of a legal advocate, are they not? Is it verily necessary for this lawyer to have beauty as well?
Well, Mr. Burbage seems to think so.
These are enlightened times, and we must have confidence in our audience that they will accept, even welcome, the notion of a lady of learning, as long as she be lovely enough to lie with.
I see. And 'tis true your skin is looking a little less than lovely at present. Let us see if we may find a remedy for it in the stars. What is the matter with Humphrey Bell's face, and what may be done to improve its appearance?
Melancholy... No. Yeah, probably. He's troubled with ugliness. No, let's go with this one.
The stars indicate that your skin troubles are occasioned by the ceruse paste you're applying to your face. The lead it contains is causing your scabs, and, if I am not mistaken, some thinning in your hair. But these are merely indications of a greater trouble it is causing, a distemperature of the liver. You must no longer apply lead to your face, Mr. Bell.
What do you mean, like, 'tis poisonous or something?
Oh, nay, lead is not poisonous. You merely seem to have a sensitivity to it, is all. I will write you up a prescription to take to an apothecary. He will concoct you a paste from alum, tin ash, and sulphur as a replacement for the ceruse you have been using. And to hide the damage to your skin, you might apply the white of a raw egg to your face. 'Twill act as a kind of glaze over your complexion.
So all this will fix my face, yay? Zah! I thank you kindly, Dr. Foreman.
Yeah, lead's only for the junk. Come on, we learned this last time.
Mr. Foreman, doubtless I need not explain why you have been brought before the College of Physicians
Oh
this
god,
day.
I'm gonna fail this.
We have been informed that you persist in practicing medicine without a license, in defiance of the law and in spite of previous warnings given you by myself and my distinguished colleagues. How do you answer this charge? Well, what do you have to say for yourself, Sirrah?
I say that I am a good doctor,
No,
and
we're
that
not.
my many years of experience have allowed me to perfect my methods as a true physician.
You would dare speak of your methods, Mr. Foreman? We are informed that you write your patients' names and complaints in a notebook, doubtless all the better to blackmail them with.
Ah, yes, my case books. Indeed, sir, 'tis most useful to be able to remember a querent's history.
Furthermore, you use astrological readings not simply to predict the course of an illness or judge the best time for a treatment, as good medicine teaches us, but you find the cause of the disease in the stars. You refuse to examine your patient's urine for this purpose.
Well, yes, for...
And you would dare claim that in these past years you have gained medical knowledge and skill from mere experience? Then I invite you to provide proof of it now. You will submit to an examination.
We're gonna die. Uh-oh. I still haven't been paying attention to any of this. Yellow bile. Excess of black bile may be a melancholic temperament. Intelligence is, Venus? Uh-oh. The head is ruled by... Aries.
Silence! Simon Foreman, you have failed this examination, and thereby have proved yourself unfit to practice medicine. Remove this charlatan, this carnival quack from my sight!
What, again? I demand to speak with my legal counsel. You will regret this!
F indeed. Although, I think if we passed, we still get dragged away, because I think that's what happened last time, is we passed, but we still got... Sir, it was with shock and distress that I did learn of your current situation, but worry not, Dr. Foreman, for you will be freed from jail this very day. I beseech Sir Alfred Moore, the father of my dear late husband, to exert his influence on your behalf. But Sir Alfred does warn that the College of Physicians cannot be obstructed for long, and that you are verily ought to procure a medical license. Thanks, Emma.
Mayhap there be some solution, though. Read the stars and we shall know.
Well met, Alice, dear friend. Since your husband's death, I have oft thought of you. Fare you well?
Oh, Foreman, I am sorry for not coming to see you sooner, for I was grateful for your warning about Blag's illness. It gave me the sense to bide with him in his final hours. It was only then that I did realize how much I did love the old fool, despite his mump-headed nature and his leaving me and the children with not a penny between us. But the day after he passed, I came upon a note he had writ for me. I warrant that was your idea, was it, Foreman?
It may have been.
Then I thank ye for it, Simon. For 'twas a comfort to be left something to remember him by, even if it be the only thing he did leave me. But things are better since I did become Mistress Maysay.
Then you have remarried?
Aye, 'twas the only means of putting a roof over our heads and meat in our bellies. And Mr. Maysay is a kind man. Oh, but Foreman, we may not have our roof much longer. Maysay has threatened to leave me.
Already?
Brute!
Well, to be fair, I suppose I did fail to apprise him of the full extent of Blag's debts, which are, as you know, not inconsiderable. But what am I to do about it now?
Ah, yes, of course. By marrying you, he is now responsible for the debts of your late husband, according to the law. In sooth, 'tis a high price to pay for a wife. No matter the marital bliss, her bountiful charms and fine qualities do doubtless afford him.
Ah, save it for another day, Foreman. 'Tis not your chub-brained flattery I am come for. 'Tis your counsel.
Then let us see if the stars may offer a solution. How may Alice May say prevent her husband petitioning for a divorce?
Well, let's see. So we got this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If he's not dead, we have a chance. If he's dead, I think we're stuck. Yep. Yep, that's a good thought. Nah, we're going with this one.
Alas, you have little hope of calming your new husband's feelings about your late husband's debts. But the stars suggest that your family might go abroad, and thus put yourself out of the reach of Blag's creditors. You must do this without delay.
Go abroad? You mean where foreigners live?
Aye. My chart also suggests that you find some creative solution to ensure your husband's cooperation in such a project. Has he ever expressed an interest in the New World colonies? Or perchance you might suggest an extended tour of Roman antiquities?
Nay, but I will put my mind to it. But if we do go abroad, this is doubtless the last time I shall ever see you, Foreman.
Yep. We got the letter.
Hear ye, hear ye. Nation mourns death of beloved Queen. King James of Scotland tit to succeed to the English throne. Hear ye.
All England is in mourning as news spreads of the death of our beloved sovereign. Queen Elizabeth Tudor, oft referred to as Good Queen Bess by her subjects, expired of natural causes on this day, the 24th day of March, the year of our Lord, 1603. Although Her Majesty left no heir nor named a successor, her cousin and nearest blood relation, 57-year-old James Stuart, King of Scotland, is rumoured to be travelling down from Edinburgh to be crowned King of England later this week. Hello, welcome on in. Oh, we're going to have a hydrate and a stretch. Prepare to be confused. We're in the final stretch of the game. I think we're about to get a bad end, because I don't think we can get enough letters.
Humphrey Bell, you must not take so ill, for though your beauty does fade, we do adore you still. Our eyes so wide, our thoughts so unrefined, at the sight of your shapely behind.
Yeah, this poor guy indeed. He's just trying to act.
Good day, Mr. Bell. Oh, I must congratulate you on your performance of the comely lady lawyer in The Merchant of Venice. And methinks your skin is much improved. 'Tis verily glowing.
Aye, Dr. Foreman. Changing my lead paste for sulphur worked very well. Mistress Burbage says I now look a picture of beauty.
Did she now? Forsooth, 'tis well to hear the troubles with your skin are resolved. Now, what is it you come for this day?
Mr. Shakespeare has written a new play, and I need to look younger if I'm to get a good part in it. 'Tis about an ancient Roman general called Titus Andronicus. I wish to play the role of his comely mother, the Lady Tamara.
You need to look younger in order to play a man's mother, you say. But according to my casebook, why, sir, you are not yet 25 years of age.
Aye, sir, indeed. 'Tis but the business of playing, though, innit? At least, according to Mr. Burbage, he was well vexed when I pointed out how the man played Titus is near as old as I am.
If the stage is not to your liking, Mr. Bell, I invite you to seek employment elsewhere.
All right, then. Let us see what the stars advise. What can be done to make my querent Humphrey Bell appear younger?
Well, let's see what our options are. Go transformation. Artistry. I mean, this is likely true. Where are we with him? I'm gonna tell him the truth.
What you ask is quite impossible, Mr. Bell. You wish for time to pass, so that you may gain experience and become a better player, do you not? And yet, paradoxically, you ask that time be suspended, so that you may remain young and comely enough to play these roles you have spent years training for. To wit, you aspire to be a domina perfectus.
What?
A perfect woman, sir. But have you not considered the option available to you? That of being a homo mediocris?
A what now?
A mediocre man. In the guise of a mediocre man, you would doubtless excel. Indeed, for every lady role in Mr. Shakespeare's plays, are there not roles for 20 men? And to be sure, growing older would not shorten your career. For a man can play all kinds of roles at almost any age. Hero, lover, grandfather, oft all at the same time.
But how am I to convince Mr. Shakespeare and the other shearers to start giving me man parts?
Have the company begin seeing you as a man, Mr. Bell. Grow yourself a beard and break wind with abandon. Fill the hours you save on beauty treatments by joining your fellow players on outings to bear-baiting pits and alehouses.
I will not let you down, Dr. Foreman. I will make myself so manly, Mr. Shakespeare will be begging me to take his man parts.
Phrasing. Nobody in this game knows phrasing. So we're trying to get letters of recommendation because we're practicing without a medical license. So we get points of how people feel about us. Some of these people passed away or left before I could get their letters. I think I need 8. I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Humphrey I'll probably get. I think Lancelot Moore died and it hasn't updated, and I don't think we're getting Mary Payne's. So unless there's a surprise person that we can somehow get a letter from, I think we might be doomed. Oh, this lady is wild. She throws house parties and things go
Good morrow, Mistress Fortescue.
bonkers wrong.
How may I do you, sir?
Oh, Dr. Foreman, I have urgent need of your advice. Oh, woe! I know not what I am to do.
Oh, look at the
My
monkey.
word, madam, I have never before seen you in such a state. Pray tell, whatever can the matter be?
'Tis my husband, Captain Fortescue. God mend me! He has been implicated in a conspiracy to commit treason.
Ah, yes, your husband, Captain Henry Fortescue. He is a great friend of Sir Walter Raleigh, is he not? Oh, methinks I see your problem. For Raleigh has been implicated in a plot against our new king, has he not? 'Tis said the plotters wished to oust the king and install the king's cousin on the throne. Or was Raleigh involved in that other plot? The one to kidnap the king and force him to appoint a more religiously tolerant privy council. In truth, there are so many plots against the English throne these days, 'tis hard to keep abreast of them all.
Indeed, I know not which plot Sir Walter was arrested for, but I have heard tell that the Privy Council seeks to find conspirators amongst his associates. Hence I have been hiding my husband in our cellar and pretending he's still away at sea.
But why would your husband fear arrest? Was he involved in Sir Walter Raleigh's plot?
Nay, he was not. But all London believes that he and Sir Walter are very great friends.
Ah, yes, I see. But what of your own friends, Mistress Fortescue? All those lords, ladies, and bishops who have so oft graced your table, would they not speak in your husband's defence?
Well, dear Emma says she will speak for my husband, but alas, she now has little influence at court on account of some scandals of her own. As for my other acquaintances, they have all disowned me. They decline my invitations, and no one is at home to me when I call upon them. Even Sir Munchalot has stopped speaking to me.
Oh.
Even your parrot, madam? On my word, that is very cold.
I beseech you, sir, read the stars and tell me how I might save my husband from arrest. Pray assure me he will be safe.
Let us see, then. Is Captain Henry Fortescue in danger of being arrested for treason? If so, what might Mistress Fortescue do to prevent it?
That's a tall order. Let's select this and hope it's true.
Be not so afeard, madam, for the stars show cause for optimism. Whilst your family's situation is grave at present, it will not remain so for long.
Oh, my days, Dr. Foreman! You cannot imagine how well it is to hear your words.
Indeed, given enough time, this plot against the king will be remembered as but a trifling affair. Even King James himself will soon be jesting of it. He will remark, "Remember you the time Sir Walter Raleigh and his friends tried to snatch away my crown and give it to my cousin? Such japes!"
Dr. Foreman, I do not think that can be right.
I assure you it is, madam, for the king will soon be engaging England in a bloody foreign war so all-consuming that mere domestic political machinations will seem trifling in comparison.
On my honour, I truly do wish I could believe what you say, but 'tis well known that King James favours peace and does not intend to engage England in more wars.
Verily?
Yes, verily. Such matters of state have oft been discussed at my table. I must own, Dr. Foreman, that your false assurances do give me no comfort. No comfort at all, Dr. Foreman. Methinks I shall to Whitehall go and throw myself upon the mercy of the king.
I'm bad at history, turns out. But I already got the letter, so...
Humphrey Bell, your time upon the stage grows near to its end as you advance in age. But hold, no tears, come down, resign, your fears, you're just too old to earn a living wage.
Oh, poor kid.
Good day to you, young sir. May I say, your playing of Titus Andronicus's comely mother was excellent. Well, a wondrous performance, Mr. Bell.
Aye, well, I did ask for a man's part, like he told me, but Bossman just winked at me and said he'd consider it, but only if I convince Mistress Burbage I'm a man first.
Ah.
How strange. I wonder what he meant by that.
I don't.
I know what he means though, innit? Mistress Burbage wants to move to me and Mr. Burbage knows all about it.
On my word! But surely, Mr. Bell, if Mistress Burbage's attentions occasion you discomfort, you have merely to tell her so. Make it plain you wish your relationship to remain professional, and bid her abstain from any amorous advances.
You what? Nay, sir. If I air her, she'll be vexed, and I could lose my job. Know you what I mean?
I see, yes. If she were to take umbrage, she might use her influence over her husband to prevent you from getting work. Well, I do have a recipe for a very effective aphrodisiac. Nay? Then let us see what the stars advise.
Oh dear.
How might Humphrey Bell calm the ardour of Mistress Burbage without it costing him his career?
I got bad news. I mean, these are both pretty much true. Let's try this one.
The stars indicate that Mistress Burbage harbours an excess of choler in her heart. It has given her a somewhat dominating disposition. and such women oft show a preference for men they perceive to be submissive.
What are you saying, Doc?
Perchance if you were to adopt a more assertive, commanding demeanour, Mistress Burbidge's lustful ardour may be tempered.
What you mean, like, be all hench and that? I will not lie, it's not me though, innit? You heed me.
But you are a skilled player, are you not? Think upon it as a role I have given you, as if all the world's a stage, and you are merely playing. At being, hench, as you so call it. You can do it, Mr. Bell.
Aye. Yea, methinks I can. I thank you kindly, Dr. Foreman.
I see what you did there. Yay! Alright, so now we just hope that Lancelot Moore isn't dead, even though we're pretty positive he's dead, or we somehow get Mary Payne in one, or there's a surprise character.
Hear ye, hear ye! Raleigh's ally, Henry Fortescue, arrested for treason! Hear ye!
In a raid on his house early this morning, Captain Henry Fortescue was arrested for his part in a plot against the king. Neighbors report that he had been hiding in his basement to escape punishment. His wife, Sybil Fortescue, formerly much renowned in royal court circles for her dinner parties, has vowed to fight on to prove her husband's innocence and win his freedom. I cannot talk. That's not great. Sources say she had better get on with it, for if he is convicted at trial this evening, he will be executed tomorrow morning. Oof.
Here comes crafty Emma. What does she ask for now? Many times a week it is needless to say despite her sins may she be saved. The rest of what God gave. Here comes crafty Emma. What does she ask for now?
Yeah, the first one was saying how nice she was, and then she asked about the elderly rich man and if he was likely to die, and then he mysteriously died. Shocking.
God give you good day, madam.
Good day to
And
you,
then three
sir,
more times.
and well met.
Before we begin, may I offer you my deepest condolences for the death of your husband, Mr. Moore.
Oh yes, Lancelot. Your prediction that he would die on the battlefield in Ireland was most precise.
He joined the military campaign in Ireland even after the warning I gave you. But if I was not clear on the dangers...
Fret not, Foreman. You were very clear, which is why I did send him. The little shrub humper was testing my patience. If I'd had to endure another word of his wretched sonnets, I would have beaten him to death myself. Having the Irish do it merely saved me the bother.
Oh, we're past pretense.
Well, I am sorry to hear of your husband's passing, but, madam, are you quite well? You do not seem quite yourself this day, if I may remark on it.
Dr. Foreman, I am more myself than you have ever seen me. For during these past years, I have been playing a role that has served me well, to be sure, but I am grown tired of it. Indeed, I am not proud of my dissembling. I'm not proud of some other things besides.
Murder!
And doubtless you are come to unburden yourself by confessing your, what those things are.
What? Nay, of course not. As I was saying, whilst my dissimulations have afforded me wealth and status, such a life as I have lived has not fulfilled me. For though I have been married many times and known many men, I have always lacked one important thing.
A moral compass?
And that thing is love. In short, I have found love, Dr. Foreman, and the object of my affection is not one of these privileged popinjays I've met at the royal court. Nay, 'tis a real man, a man who knows what it is to make his own way in the world.
Oh, you mean to say... You mean you and I?
Verily, upon seeing him play Tamara in Titus
That's what I
Andronicus at
thought.
the Globe one even, I was, well, my heart was took.
I see. You are in love with a player then, I take it.
Aye, and I wish to marry him. But first, I would know whether such a match be advisable. Is our love true, or is my considerable coin and property where his true affections lie? Such a deception would not surprise me in truth.
Well, nay, doubtless it would not. Let us see whether the stars can tell us.
No, I didn't care much about Lancelot because he wasn't great, but I did want his letter before he died. We were so close. Beau hides evil intentions. Oh, right. Sure.
The stars bless the match between you and the young man.
They do not think it would be bad for him in some way. They do not judge.
The chart indicates that your relationship with this young man has changed you. It would be a faithful, lasting marriage.
Verily? I must own I dared not expect such a happy ending to my story. I thank ye heartily, Dr. Foreman.
Hopefully he doesn't die.
Our thoughts we must disclose, though your acting is fine, you wear to many clothes. 'Tis hot, revive, has lost, sits down, recline upon this couch and take a little wine.
The choir has zero chill.
Good day, Mr. Bell. I see here in my notes the last time you came to us for counsel regarding Mistress Burbage and her tender advances.
Aye, and your advice to be dominating her were very well. This made Mr. Burbage start seeing me in a whole new light, innit? He was well impressed when I told her to go make me some pottage before rehearsal.
If you are so eager to comport yourself like a man, Humphrey, methinks 'tis time you did so upon the stage.
Hooray!
I see. So, as well as resolving the matter with Mistress Burbage, you have also been promoted to playing male roles now. On my word, that is very well to hear.
'Tis about another lady I'm come this day. 'Tis a member of the audience who comes to all my performances and brings me flowers and sweetmeats. A mature lady. A widow, innit?
Several
Another
times.
one. On my word, you are most ill-fortuned, Mr. Bell. Verily, are no young players safe these days from being preyed upon by lecherous old ladies?
'Tis not all ladies, Dr. Foreman. Not this one, anyways. Emma ain't like any of the other ladies I've met. In truth, Dr. Foreman, we wish to be wed. I love her, innit?
Then what is your trouble?
Well, I've heard tell some vexing things. There are them that say she has a heart of stone and only marries to get her hands on a man's money, though I have none, and she be rich. But she has been widowed many times, and there's even a rumour saying she's had a hand in her husband's deaths.
Oh, verily? How shocking.
Aye, I must own to being a trifle shook by it, and maybe a bit excited as well, but mainly shook, innit?
Doubtless you are, for 'tis most frightening if there be any truth to these rumours. We must consult the stars and see whether it be wise for you to marry. Should Humphrey Bell wed this wealthy widow, and what will become of him if he does?
Would you have any chill if you require unaffected by actions in the story? Demonstrably, I would not. See this entire playthrough. Okay, either A or B. Let's go with A.
Mr. Bell, it has been my privilege to guide you over the years in matters of work and in life. Wisely, I hope, but certainly with the greatest sense of care for your well-being. Indeed, I have come to think of you as a father might think of a son. 'Tis a responsibility I have not taken lightly, and in loco parentis, as it were, I feel an obligation to...
Sir, begging your pardon, sir, but I'm going to stop you right there because I need to know, innit? Should I marry Emma or not?
Yes. I believe you may safely marry this lady, Mr. Bell. The stars suggest the rumors you did hear about her are needlessly cruel.
So this all lies then?
No.
Well, not quite all lies, nay. The stars do also indicate that the lady was formerly most fixated upon the acquisition of money, though it would seem she no longer harbours such pecuniary passions, such as is consistent with her desire to marry a penniless player such as yourself.
Sir, then 'tis decided. I shall marry my dear, sweet Emma. I'd be honoured if you came to see us wed, Dr. Foreman, if you be not too busy in that.
The honour shall be all mine, young Humphrey.
I hope she doesn't kill him. Oh boy.
She prefers a hanging, though she readily admits, viewed after drinking turnip wine until she's off her farm.
Yep. I think this is the last one. Oh, there's 2 more. Oh, good. I don't think we're gonna please her.
Good morrow, Mistress Payne. It has been quite some time since I last saw you. Did you ever hear from the Archbishop? I recall your husband was intending to write to him, expressing your concerns about the Continentals.
Aye, we did write, but he never replied. Not that I am surprised, mind you, as they do say that Archbishop Whitgift is a very idle man, not to speak of the unsavoury goings-on within the walls of Lambeth Palace. They say that in the great dining hall the Archbishop and his guests do feast and carouse from dusk till dawn, and 'tis said that in some of the palace rooms they indulge in fornication and sodomitical sins.
Verily, indeed. Then, doubtless that leaves him very little time to reply to every...
Truly, methinks being surrounded by such decadence and corruption of the flesh is likely to have made the Archbishop very hard. Aye, bearing witness to so much vice would make a man very hard indeed.
Phrasing.
Hard, Dr. Foreman? Insensible to the needs and difficulties of ordinary folk such as you and I. Verily, I do not wonder that such a hard man gave me no satisfaction.
Phrasing.
Which is why I am come to you this day, Dr. Foreman. Something did trouble me last night, and I would have you tell me what it might have been.
I will if I can, madam. Prithee, describe it to me.
Well, at first was the noise of a boat that did awaken me. I got up out of bed and went to the window to see what was. As you know, on 4th Street we are right by the banks of the Thames. In the moonlight, I could just make out a ferry crossing the river, loaded up with large barrels.
And you thought it suspicious?
Aye, indeed, for the hour was very late and the boat's lamp was not lit. I did not wake Mr. Payne to ask his opinion, for, in truth, he has told me he wishes to hear no more about the things I see from our window.
Fair.
So, I am come to you, for I can have no rest until I know who those men were and what they were doing. Who knows what foul deeds may be afoot in Lambeth Town? Mayhap the men I saw were Catholic spies, engaging in some manner of nefarious plot against the realm.
Then let us see. What does God have to say regarding this boat you saw crossing the Thames last night? Was it some kind of elaborate Catholic plot, or is there a more likely explanation?
I mean, there is a more likely explanation, and I don't want her to be happy. But on the other hand, if we engage her baseless slander, maybe she'll be arrested. She is unpleasant and delusional.
You did well to come to me, Mistress Payne. The stars confirm that the events you witnessed last night do indeed portend of doings of a most foul and sinister nature. I will pass your information on to one of my querents, whom I may not name, but who is a member of Her Majesty's Secret Service and reports directly to Her Majesty's Privy Council.
I knew I could rely upon you, Dr. Foreman. You and I doing such important work together. We make quite the team, do we not?
I would not say that precisely.
Do not be falsely modest, Dr. Foreman. False modesty is naught but the sin of vanity in disguise. Now, I must to home hasten to tell my neighbours. Forsooth, I must warn them of this grave threat and bid them keep a watchful eye on our local Catholics. Blessed day, Dr. Foreman.
Maybe I'll get like 50 points and then she'll get arrested. Oh, I'm so doomed.
Hear ye! Catholic terror plot to blow up Parliament foiled! Gunpowder barrels discovered in cellar! Hear ye!
Disturbing reports just in from Westminster that barrels of gunpowder were discovered in a cellar under the Houses of Parliament late last night. Sources indicate that this gunpowder plot was a Catholic conspiracy led by Robert Catesby and assisted by Continental by the name of Guido Fawkes. Hey, we saved Parliament.
'Tis well to jest at merry pain, 'tis well to sneer and mock, until her views become the norm, then 'twill be quite a shock. But for now, let's laugh at her and how her niece laughs. How her niece laughs, la 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 la.
Oh dear.
Good day, Mistress Payne. You seem in good cheer.
That I am, Dr. Foreman. This day I am taking my niece on a lovely outing to see the cockfighting in Vauxhall.
Ah, there is a cockpit in Vauxhall now, is there?
Aye, and a very fine one. And I did think we need a nice day out to turn our minds away from that terrible affair of the Catholics plotting to blow up the Houses of Parliament. And my niece does so love the cocks.
Doubtless, madam. And the gunpowder plot was indeed a terrible business.
They say it was the doings of a group of young Catholic nobles from the Midlands, do they not? And that the gunpowder was ferried across the Thames at Lambeth under cover of darkness. Doubtless, 'twas the very same boat I did tell you about, Dr. Foreman. And of course, I must congratulate you for recognizing how right I was to be suspicious of that boat I saw. Now, I bid you tell me, and do not be coy, Dr. Foreman, was it your relaying of my information to the authorities that foiled the gunpowder plot?
No.
Did you and I save England from the Catholics?
I am afraid, madam, that I am not at liberty to confirm nor deny my involvement in the matter.
Ah, but oh my days! Are you ill, Dr. Foreman? Mayhap we are both troubled with the same disease, for my eyes do also twitch and prick with pain.
I did remark the condition of your eyes. They are very red in appearance, and you seem troubled with a hacking cough. For how long have you had these troubles?
Only these past few days, and as well as my eyes and my cough, I do also find it a trifle vexing to breathe.
Then let us now consult the stars. What ails Mistress Mary Payne?
Don't know off the top of my head. Bloodshot eyes. Noxious odors. No. We're gonna go with noxious odors because of the cough, and that could also sting your eyes.
Ah, madam, your symptoms are occasioned by noxious odours. Most likely you did lately inhale a large volume of smoke. Mayhap your chimney requires cleaning.
Indeed it does not, Dr. Foreman. My cleanliness is unimpeachable. I have my maidservant scour the house from top to bottom every day.
Bleach?
Ah, then I cannot be sure what has occasioned your... Hold. What is that acrid odour? Methinks it does emanate from your clothing. Madam, have you been taking part in the anti-Catholic pogroms that Lambeth has witnessed these past days? The burning of houses and shops. The lynching of priests from trees upon Lambeth Green.
Mayhap I have, and what of it? You should be congratulating me and my ilk for keeping you safe, and for sending a clear message to those Catholics who would plot against our Parliament and blow us up with gunpowder.
Madam, these Catholics are our neighbours, our colleagues, and our friends. I beseech you to consider your actions, madam. Are not Catholics people too, just as we are? If you prick them, do they not bleed?
Aye, and their flesh does burn the same and all. I fear I do not follow your reasoning, Dr. Foreman.
Are they not subject to the same diseases, healed by the same cures as we are? And if not cured, then, alas, taken so soon, so needlessly. I did never have the chance to... Oh, my sweet Avis, can you ever forgive me?
Is something the matter with you, Dr. Foreman? On my honour, you do seem most troubled. Mayhap you should be going to consult with a doctor yourself. God keep you well, Dr. Foreman. Blessed day.
Am I gonna get there? Ah, nope. Dang.
Hear ye! Hear ye! London struck by plague. Playhouses closed by order of the king. Hear ye!
Ooh. Be advised that if you're experiencing any of the following plague symptoms, fever, abdominal pain, lumps on your groin, oozing foul pus, send word to your local authorities and a team of carpenters will be dispatched to your place of residence to board up your house so you may not roam about infecting others. Please ensure dead loved ones are ready to be deposited onto the plague cart when it passes each evening. Corpses deposited on the street outside of collection hours will incur a fine of 1 shilling. I am not getting my license.
Save us, Almighty Lord. Save us from the wrath of God. Upon us he hath wrought his vengeance and justice, and pestilence and death.
Oh, shade. Although, honestly, our main character is not a great person, so, I mean, that's fair. If we
God
end
give
up
you
not,
good day, your grace. How fare you this...
Know you whether the plague will reach as far as Lambeth? Have you seen it in the stars?
Ah, the plague that has begun to spread throughout London. Rest assured, your grace, if the plague does indeed reach Lambeth, the people of Lambeth will have me, Dr. Simon Foreman, at their service. My renowned strong water cure will doubtless be required.
I bid you, read the stars for me now. Will or will it not reach Lambeth?
Of course, as it pleases, your grace. Let us see what the stars have to say. Will the London plague reach beyond the city walls to Lambeth?
pretty much no one who's a decent person in this game, maybe 2. Yeah, I was gonna say about 2. I'm gonna go with the Archbishop should do his duties.
Ah, yes. The stars are most clear on the matter. Very clear indeed.
Then what do they say? Tell me!
Well, before I give you my answer, I would have your decision on granting me that medical license we spoke of on your previous visits. I am sorry, Your Grace, but I must insist upon it.
I would gladly do so, but I find my hands tied due to various episcopal and doctrinal... As I see you are determined not to let the matter rest, I will speak true. Some years ago, the Queen's physician, Dr. Richard Smith, did write me a letter on behalf of the College of Physicians. He warned me in the strongest terms against granting you a medical license. So you see, I cannot grant you a license without raising the ire of the College of Physicians.
But...
Now, Dr. Foreman. Doubtless you are thinking that a man of my position, one of the most powerful men in England, should not be so easily put off by such a letter. However, and methinks you know this from your own experience, the college is a terrifying organization that will stop at nothing to get their way. One would be better off defying the Queen herself than the licensed doctors of London. For whilst our Lord God in heaven may be merciful, the College of Physicians is not.
Aye, verily, I must own that what you say is very true.
But mayhap I will furnish you with a letter of recommendation to the University of Cambridge. They may confer upon you a medical degree, and thereby a medical license.
I thank you, Your Grace.
Now, prithee, answer my question.
Your Grace, I am sorry to inform you that Lambeth will not escape the plague this time. It will reach Lambeth before the week is out.
God's mercy! Are you sure of this?
Aye, it seems this plague is God's punishment upon us, though 'tis not clear in the stars what the punishment is for. Debauchery, mayhap? Insufficient burning of heretics? 'Tis hard to know. No doubt such questions as these will occupy your thoughts in the coming hours and days, though doubtless your priority lies with preparing your clergy and their congregations for the trials to come.
Yes, indeed. I must start preparing the household now if we are to remove to Sussex before the plague reaches us.
But surely you're not leaving Lambeth, Your Grace. Not in its hour of need.
Worry not, Dr. Foreman. I will, of course, have my vicars remain, so they may give last rites to their parishioners.
Before you go, Your Grace,
tried.
I believe you were intending to write me a letter of recommendation.
Well, indeed, I will reflect on the quality of advice you have given me over the years, and if I judge that you have acted with some skill, then I will have my chaplain draft you a letter of recommendation and have it sent to you. Good day, Dr. Foreman.
I only got 7. I'm doomed.
Though he is not quite a proper doctor yet, one day a license he will surely get. But if he rises up to high from whence he began, will be Coleman folk still see Foreman as a man.
You cannot board up my house! 'Tis not a plague house! You are mistaken! I do not have the plague! Let me out of here! Know you not who I am, you fools? I am Simon Foreman, Doctor of Astrology and Physic! Fie upon those ungrateful wretches! Have I not always been there for them when they needed me? Am I not the doctor who risked his life to cure them during the plague of '92, when all the other doctors and their high-born friends fled London and left them to die? Indeed, mayhap next time I will think again before risking my life in the service of the townsfolk, if this is the way I'm to be repaid. And forsooth, if my deeds are so easily forgotten by the living, what chance is there for my work to be remembered by generations to come? What will the world know of me once I'm gone?
Seems very trial and error. Some of it I suspect if I had better medical and history knowledge, I would have done better. And some of it is paying attention to what people are talking about and using it to your advancement. So it's a mix. I probably, if I had a little bit more historical knowledge, yeah, I did miss the 2 obvious pregnancies. But I think they didn't make a difference, because this was one of them. Her, I was so close. So yeah, that might have done it. Because the other one was Ava, and I got her letter, so... We're gonna go with this one.
Ah, I see. Many years will pass before my work is to be given the recognition it deserves. Men living centuries from now, mayhap even ladies, will study my treatises and casebooks with great care and write histories about my work. But hold, Does not Mr. Shakespeare tell the lives of great men upon the stage? Perchance playwrights will use the wondrous stage machinery of the future to illuminate my work.
Fourth wall?
The
What
story
fourth
of my
wall?
life will be told by players. For though I may yet lack a medical license, the historical importance of my work is, well, 'tis undeniable. But if I am to go forth into the world to make any further contributions to the advancement of medical science, I must find a way to pry these wretched boards off my front door. William! William! Fetch me a crowbar!
Ah, yes, the gaming crowbar trope. Yeah, I don't know how I missed that one. That was weird.
Long ago in England in 1592, there begins our tale, and all of it is true. Through all of London, bubonic plague did spread, covering folk in weeping sores and leaving thousands dead.
From towns and cities, doctors they did flee, leaving their patients to die in misery.
But one brave doctor stayed when all the cowards fled, might have been because he was too sick to leave his bed.
Foreman made a plague cure and used it on himself, then left his house to restore London's true health.
Huzzah! 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 Huzzah!
Simon Foreman, he cured us of the plague, 'tis true.
Some details are a little vague, but we know he used astrology and knows his strong water. So what if he be not a proper licensed doctor?
But then the doctors started to come back and saw themselves replaced by a man they call a quack. They said
This man has no medical degree. He treats his patients with bad astrology. So woman bound,
to get his license and make the doubters see that he was now the best doctor in the city. I will pay no heed,
he
he
said.
said, to those who scoff and laugh.
For my satisfied patients will speak on my behalf.
Simon Foreman, he cured us of the plague, 'tis true.
Some details are a little vague, but we know he used astrology and knows his strong water. So what if he be not a proper licensed doctor? Though he is not quite a proper doctor yet, one day a license he will surely get. But if he rises up too high from whence he began, will we common folk still see Foreman as a man? Simon Foreman,
He cured us of the plague, 'tis true.
some details are a little vague, but we know he used astrology and knows his strong water. So what if he be not a proper licensed doctor?
Amazing. What a game indeed. Well, that was a trip and a half. I think on that note, I'm gonna head out for the evening and have some food. Thanks for hanging out for the before stream and for the end of this game. I hope you enjoyed its ridiculousness. Yeah. I have no idea what I'm gonna play yet on Monday, but rest assured it will be something. I will figure it out before then. Yes. Have a wonderful day. Thanks again. Take care. Bye.